Bootlegger is definitely street legal, yes.
So Paul Dale with the acute angle and Simon Boot with the bootlegger. Good looking run here for Paul Dale. 9:01 and a 9:37.
Brilliant.
Simon's Camaro, it's all pulled the wheelie, but it seemed to sort of squat, lift the wheels, then go. It was it's sort of like almost like a delayed launch sort of thing.
Typical straight car situation, really. That one. These two cars, I don't know too much history about at all. They're sort of newcomers to the Supercharged Outlaws.
Well, Mike Couch with the. That's the sort of car that's about my size, that isn't it? Don't you reckon?
The little Hemi Hunter, it's called.
Very, very beautifully prepared car. Proper period correct look as well, especially with the Hemi in there. Taking on the guest in the class this weekend, which is Bill McDermott. Billy is the UK's first 8-second street car rider. He's still got radials on there with wheelie bars.
Yeah, he's got the Holy Grail tires on there, actually, Darryl. Wow. That hooked up and launched very nicely indeed there for Bill.
I think he took it by surprise.
Yeah.
Wow.
886, 160. Very nice. 150 at 139.
Yeah, Bill goes into the number 6 spot with that run.
Well, now Tony Underhill in the grey wagon, the grey Willis in the energy check lane. He's been getting a second quicker every run, so by the end of the weekend he'll be in the 5s easily. Just kidding, obviously. But they've set the car up, hopefully to run nice in the straight. I think he went 8-9 yesterday. I think that was in, I can't remember if that was a Willis or the Supercharged Outlaws. I think it was Supercharged Outlaws. If he can keep his foot in it a bit longer, it will be very quick in there. Taking on Gary Parks with the Purple Days. I think this is another car you got, isn't it, Roy?
Originally it was built for Brian Gandy, and Brian Gandy wanted to go elsewhere on another car. So I bought it back off him, produced it for a Wild Bunch car, and then I did a deal with Dave Williams, who helped the Slingshot Bob Hawkins, and then it became Purple Haze. But yes, it used to be green, now it's purple. So at least it's got one of my colours still on the car anyway.
Well, it's a good looking run for Tony. I think he's just feathering it towards the stripe. He goes 8.61, wow. Another PB, 144.
Well, he managed to keep his foot in it a bit longer that time. And nice side-by-side run. Okay, Phil Toppin with the Supercharged. What you couldn't see from up there that I could see from down here was the flames coming out of the exhaust of the board out. So Phil made a pretty good launch yesterday, but I think it launched well, but went straight right.
That looks very familiar to Tony Wynne Jones's old car he used to run in the Wild Bunch. I don't know what Phil's, if it was the one that Phil bought off him.
It certainly looks like it, you do.
Goes through the 1282 at 98 miles an hour. Casting's nice, and the engine's not very happy at the moment. He'll never keep the team down. They'll have that one sorted, and that'll be going well soon. I like the way that Phil Toppin has named the car No Name Yet. But he's got a few names for it, but he's just not publishing them.
Yeah, the thing is there will be swear words.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So just a quick bit of backstory here. Kirsten van Koelenberg in the CUDA in the Auto Glim Lane. Those more astute among you will notice it hasn't got a blower on it. Kirsten's regular car, the other CUDA, Susie Q, engine trouble. And unfortunately she couldn't make it with that car this weekend, so she has brought along a replacement, or a little sister as she calls it, I think. Is that right?
That'll work, yeah.
Yeah, take it on Keith Freeman. Keith keeps plugging personal best after personal bests with the coupe. Now down into the mid-10s.
10.50 at 130 miles an hour, and Kirsten goes through with a 14.13 at 96.
That's another PB for Keith Freeman. Well, Joel Kerr put in a couple of checkout passes yesterday and then ran a storming 764 in the Supercharged Outlaw session, basically back where he was. You can probably tell us more about this, Roy. Both of these cars had engine trouble. You were in Malta, actually, weren't you? Driving Hills of Popping.
That's right.
When Ian Merriweather was there with Banzai, and yeah, they came back with a rather poorly engine, didn't they?
Yeah, it was very poor engine. It's my old 392 engine that I ran in the Hemi Hunter, and I mean, the engine has done some serious work, and it actually cracked, and then Ian over the winter has been to the States, purchased a new block, and you see what you see that you've got there at the moment. I'm proud to be part of that car, and I've done other little bits of work on it. But what a stunning car, what a good advertising for nostalgia. On a footnote, with my let's say my health issue, Joel Kerr being a director, funeral director, come and measured me up the other day. I think he's got the box all ready for me.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, you measure him up for a race car and he measures you up for a box. Just a tiny move in the lane, but Joel, right foot buried, 745, wow. 180 miles an hour, take that.
Joel Kerr's quickest ever run. I told you they'd turn it up a bit when they got it sorted out. Jack Clayton against Paul Watts' car.
Here Merriweather goes through at 8.45, actually, he moves up to number 4.
A little altered in the left lane there. He's grandchild of Bill Sherritt, who's got the Cackle car that's actually at the Hall of Fame, and that was in the workshop the other day, and he's a tall guy, he had to have a new roll cage stuck on the top of it, but two young lads starting out, and at the end of the day, it's, they're just trying to gain the experience, and it'll be one serious car to be reckoned with a bit further down the line. Paul and I in the other lane, well, we've raced together for years now. I've got an idea one of his lads is in the actual hot seat of that car.
Well, Paul Watts at the moment, he resides in the number 5 spot with that 8.45 with a 6. The reason I added that 6 on the end there, because Ian Merriweather went through with an 8.45 with a 5. So just nip in front. And Jake, currently number 14. Not going to get a time, unfortunately, this time round. But let's see how Paul Watts gets on. Oh, and he moves back in front. 8.26, his best run of the weekend. He moves back up to the number 4 spot. next pair completing their burnouts. Ow, don't always see this enormous Chevy pickup here at the pod, but it's good to see it come back when it does. Of course, it's Paul Watts with the No Easy Pickup 68 Chevy C10, and Des Taylor with the Thunder God. Now that we're numbers wise, Des went 886 yesterday. Paul Watts, his first run in the class this weekend. Des Taylor dancing around his lane. Good straight run for Paul, but I think Des going to hold on to this one. Yeah, 967 against a 997. Well, Paul gets into actually no improvement there for Des. I think that is a wrap for Supercharged Outlaws.
That's everything.
It is indeed, yeah. Roy, great, thank you ever so much indeed. That was quite a long session considering we had the lunch break in the middle of it. But
been a pleasure.
Come back up for the next session, please. It'd be good to have you up here again, mate.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you very much.
It's an open door, you know that, mate. Anytime you want to come up, you come and add some colour commentary to anything, mate, and you'll make it sound good.
Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed then to Roy Wilding. Great to see him. And of course Elaine as well coming up to see us. Thanks very much indeed. And we'll see you a bit later on. Right, the two-seater Dragster out for another pass. This, of course, part of a VIP package, or we can have a go on your own. It's Paul Brown in the driving seat, and of course he has a passenger that is about to go around about 171 miles an hour at the stripe in approximately 7.8 seconds. After this, I can see Martin Hill with Fire Force 2 tucked round the corner. One of his earliest Jack cars. Obviously Fire Force 1 not in his possession anymore, but he's got Fire Force 2. And proper bit of nostalgia jet, that one. So, previous run, 781 with a 9. 170 miles an hour, should be pretty close to that. This car is so consistent. .785, 170 mile an hour, but a 003 light, you'll like that. All right, some of our custom car invitational cars. I know they've been tucked around the corner for a little while, so this is a bit like it's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, so be surprised to see what comes around the corner. What I can see though is Martin Hill getting suited and booted and getting ready to climb aboard Fire Force 2. So that's not far away from putting his run in full today. But I say, Custom Car Invitational. A few of our Run Wicked Run cars. Next class actually to take to the street is Gasser Circus for their, I believe, final qualifying session actually. Oh no, they have another one later on, so yeah, we'll be queued for. Just a little bit of grooming in the auto glim lane off the start line, so just making sure that's all 100% okay. Then I believe that's Paul Lyle going to be taking the Comet up the auto glim lane. And that lovely 33 in the energy check lane. All right, best of the weekend so far, 11:55. That changed that to a 10:03. That was a stout run. Very, very quick indeed. 135 miles an hour at the stripe. Against 12:37 at 1:04.
I've also been very lax today, and I'm probably going to be in trouble. I need to say a big hi to Matt, Jenny and Stu, who was sitting out there somewhere on the banking. Sorry I haven't got round to it earlier. I've just been half asleep, I think that's what it must be. my only excuse anyway. So we've got Al Golding back with the Decree Absolute. Previously grounds for divorce. Couple of storming runs earlier on.
Well, there's a story there. Grounds for divorce is the car, and then the Decree Absolute means he's kept it.
Obviously. Still got the car. Yeah, one of the... used to have a little note on there that used to say, we interrupt this marriage to bring you the racing season, which I think could go on quite a number of cars, and you're back, really, couldn't it? Especially. There was one car running in Run What You Brung yesterday that I so desperately... Whee! Al Golding with wheelie of the day so far, and he's keeping it nailed as well. It's a good run for both, actually, that. 8.96 for Al Golding. $9.92 for the little old. Yeah, one car I was really hoping to see today was the Supercharged pickup. The silver one that did the monster burnout yesterday evening. Do you remember? Very, very quick thing with a couple of stacks on top of the blower.
Oh, yeah.
The engine, it looked like an engine with a small amount of pickup attached to it.
Yeah.
It was a terrific thing. This is Mick Coombs, I think, or Dave Coombs. Help, or Dave Mace. Dave Mace, I think that is. Sorry. Auto Glim Lane. This car goes like an absolute bandit. It's a Cresta, but obviously goes like the factory never intended it.
Yeah, he pulls monster wheel stands, door slammers. He really reached for the sky. God, that's just hooked up and gone this time.
Low 8-second car, maybe a 7 on this one. Who knows? 8.08, 166. One of his quickest runs ever, I think that was.
Yeah, that was cracking.
So desperately close to the 7s. Oh, this would be a good matchup, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Pete Grange and Brian Savage.
As long as Pete doesn't decide to draw in Brian in the other lane again. Pete nearly took out the Christmas tree on his run earlier today. Kept going though, which is always encouraging. Bless. Yeah, with a lot of work on the car. He reckoned the reason it wouldn't run in the 8s was because it didn't have a big enough cam in it. It was running out of steam at the top end, so they put the big cam in it, and it's found loads of other little weak links. New rear end in the car this weekend. Taking on Brian Savage with a street-driven 32 Roadster. Pete with a much more sedate and straight run this time. Normally runs around about 9.0, maybe 8.9, 9.03. Quickest run of the weekend so far. A very nice 10.60 for Brian Savage, 127. That's a car I haven't seen before.
Oh, I like that.
Does that say Smogger or
Smogger?
Snogger.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Okay.
That's cool. That is very cool indeed. Going alongside 582 cubic inches. Little cheeky wheelie off the line as well.
Well, they didn't even bother staging. No. I don't know whether anyone else noticed that. He didn't stage. Neither of them staged. And he's not going to get any laps time. No. So Adrian Sidwell with the Opus HRF. He's owned this car with a crossflow in it, supercharged crossflow at that, since 1974. Taking on the Fright Sprite, if I'm allowed to call it that, is that right?
Fright Sprite, yeah.
Fright Sprite.
Being told to shut off, I think. Oh, yes, the top end not clear at the moment, I don't think.
It is.
There's somebody wandering around there.
Maybe checking something out, who knows.
But, no, both being pushed back.
We've also got Martin Hill in Fire Force Jet Funny Car coming up. Sorry, Fire Force 2. Yeah, very good point, Todd. Thank you very much. The little Anglia, the Smoggers car, was smoking a lot of way down the racetrack and definitely in the shutdown area. So just out doing a track check past the finish line. Hopefully it won't be too long anyway. There's a few of them out there checking the racetrack. You can see all the marshals obviously on the start line and at various points down the racetrack. We call them the spotters that just hop over the wall to check the racetrack just in case. There's a whole army of them past the finish line as well, all the way down to the last turnoff, which is a mile away or thereabouts from the start line. Very good afternoon to Angie and all the boys right down there and everybody at the turnouts and all the marshals too for keeping us safe. It looks like the clean-up truck is rolling, so we do have a little bit of clean-up to do up there. We've still got a few of the custom car invitational cars to run. We've got Martin Hill with Fire Force number 2. What's after that, Colin, actually on the list?
It'll be Gasser Circus.
Ah, cool, okay.
Yeah, they're tucked round the corner.
How did I not,
onions and Ray
how
Turner.
did I not know that?
I don't know, because Simon stood there
I know,
waiting
right.
patiently.
The thing is, Colin, if I actually ever paid attention, people would think I was doing it wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely. It throws people off when I do that. Anyway, so yeah, through the top end, the little Anglia was smoking, unfortunately. So got a little bit of clean up to do. Fortunately, it's not on the racing surface. It is in the shutdown area, but we can't have any kind of fluid, whether it be oil, water, coolant, whatever, anywhere. Go on.
Yeah, but very quickly, looking at who's coming up next. Ron Bartlett is down there with the Sweet FA, and he's messaged me and he says, "Can you say a big thank you to Andy Hadfield for his help? I wouldn't be here without him. Wheelie bars because we have upped the launch. Better to be safe than sorry." Yeah, Ron saying massive thanks to the Fadster.
I think it was a push rod issue, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah,
and Andy. Colin's doing, just so you don't know, folks, Colin is doing what we like to call lazy journalism, which is basically trawling Facebook for stuff to tell you. That's what a lot of the time the BBC do. They have a look on Twitter to see what's going on and then report on it. Colin is doing the drag racing announcers version by checking out Facebook. Go on, what can you tell us? Yeah,
I was just looking to see who Tom is going to be lined up against. I am going to assume it's the Vauxhall Crest once again, and that's Adrian Cleggan. if I pronounce that name right. And a good little match-up between the two estate cars, and Andy Dibley once again rocking the Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, still trying to grow a beard though, Andy. You do need your go faster beard sometime soon, mate.
Yeah. But no, he's having a good time in Supergas this year, so well done there to Dibs. But star of the show in that team, Kirsty Tram, yesterday having a go in Tom's insanely and quick shooting brake estate car, IKEA grocery getter, whatever you want to call it.
Do you get grocery from IKEA? You can get food. Very quickly, the only reason I knew that it was Kirsty driving the car yesterday, either that or Tom's hands had shrunk and become very feminine when he came round underneath the tower. It was a bit of a giveaway. Very quick announcement, sorry mate. A silver VW in day parking, you've left your lights on. CV52XUH, that's CV52XUH. Or XVH, I think that's UH. It's a silver VW in day parking. You've left your lights on. So if you want to make it home again tonight, that's just to go turn them off. Anyway, Colin, carry on.
So we got Tom and Adrian. They're going to be lining up together. Andy Bond, as you say, tucked around the corner there. Andy Park is down there with the supercharged, 9-second supercharged car down there, and Andy loving life at the moment, and he has got the coolest t-shirts and stickers ever. You've got to see them to believe it. It's such a great design. I wonder if anybody's got one on that can come nearer so you can see it. But Andy, thanks ever so much indeed. I know he's going to sort out some stickers for me. I've got a sticker wall at home now, and I need a couple of Andys on the wall, but they're super cool.
Colin never got any older than 4, did you?
No. I checked out 3 3/4.
And that was it, basically. Anyway, the track crew are doing their thing up the top end, ladies and gentlemen. We will hand just only for a couple of moments to Nitro FM. I'll see if I can pester anyone to talk to them. But in the meantime, you can play some tunes, pay some bills. We won't be too long anyway, because it is, like I said, past the finish line. Those cleanups are always that little bit quicker. The telling thing is no one's actually got out of their race cars, which is always a good sign. So maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that, and we'll be back with you.
Show appreciation. Phil Legend. Well done, there's Big Boss Man. Thank you very much indeed. Little stroller for you, boys and girls.
Well, we still have a vehicle at the top end, but it's doing its last sweep, and that will disappear around the corner very shortly indeed as we get ready for burnout. We continue the Custom Car Invitational.
I'm pretty sure that's Angie in the sweeper. Thank you very much indeed, Ange. Superb job as always, everybody up the top end, as we are back to racing in a minimal amount of time. So the Fright Sprite against Adrian Sidwell, the Opus man in the Opus HRF. That little Sprite does go. .1067, only 103 miles an hour as well. Mr. Ron Bartlett.
You can see the Andy Park T-shirt now that I was talking about earlier on. It's a really cool design, that.
I like the salute.
Yeah,
it's
that
a
works
salute
as well.
It's a salute I've had many times, and a fair few times from him, I think. Yeah, so Ron, as we said earlier, very grateful to Andy Hadfield for getting him back out here, or helping him get out back here this weekend. Andy Park with the Model Y. I like the fact he's still got a spare wheel on there, like he's ever going to put it on the car, because
yes,
it
totally
ain't
wrong,
going to match, is it? Let's face it. I'm also surprised is lots of racers are weight conscious. Why would he not take it off when he comes out and runs? There's got to be a reason. I'm sure there is.
Aesthetics, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I can only think it's because it looks authentic, if you will.
He's doing 993 earlier on today. I think that's his quickest run with the blower that he's got there.
Ron Bartlett, 126 to 60 foot, a little bit of tyre slip off the start line, but still a really good run. 8:43 at 161. Rolling burnouts from station wagons. My goodness me. Whatever next.
10:04 there for Andy Park. Just a little bit of drop off from this morning's run.
Yeah, that Vauxhall is immaculately turned out. I'm sure that's completely showroom stock.
Why isn't Tom coming back? Oh dear, that's not part of the plan, is that?
Yeah, Kirsty's saying you missed a bit of polish there. Get the rag out, clean it up. I know what it is, it's because Kirsty's not driving it, she's trying to sabotage him. Yeah, that's the one, I knew that was what it was.
So it looks like Adrian's going to be on a solo then with this insanely quick Vauxhall.
Well, at least the photograph for Tom will be worth it anyway. That is his daily driver, folks. Nice job of sabotage, Kirst. Well done. Nobody noticed. It's all right. You got away with it. Don't you just hate it with a spare driver points out problems?
Oops. Come on, Adrian. Bring it back. Have another go.
Well, everybody out there in the grandstands and on the banking, we have a cracking afternoon and evening's entertainment lined up for you. Don't forget the Vintage Hub over there behind the main spectator banking.
Adrian's going to stage it on the back wheels, look. He can't stage it on the back wheels.
Well, he can.
Well, he can, actually.
But it's going to be a bit cheating because the racetrack's going to be about 8 foot shorter than it should be.
No, he's going to stage it with the front. So.
Yeah, don't forget the Vintage Hub over there with the beer festival and the live bands on over there too for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, don't forget, if you go to the beer festival, make sure you get some Wobbly Bob, because that brew...
Is it all right?
Well, I don't know if it's all right or not, because all the proceeds for that one go to Bloodwise. So,
they do indeed. There's, I was amazed yesterday. Have you seen, just very quickly, have you checked this out? This is quite incredible, the amount of ale that they have on offer. Right, check those out. That's fantastic, that is. 12:41, 111 miles an hour. It's really cool, isn't it? I mean, bear in mind, like drag racing fans, look, Podface, Monkey Wrench, Podzilla Flip, quarter mile, top fuel, nitro, supercharger, waste oil, I should think. Probably tastes a bit yucky, but you know, what can you do? It'd be great if you actually got given a pint of that, wouldn't it? And you go, well, that's what you ordered.
Yeah, can I have a pint of tyre shake, please? Right.
Yeah, the barman comes out and beats you around the head with a pillow.
Right, what's Andy Bond got for us this afternoon with the Ugly Sister? Part of the Custom Car Invitational, but if there is an opportunity for Andy Bond to get track time, then he'll take it with both hands and say thank you very much indeed.
I've actually sussed what Dave and or Davina and Ian have done here. Someone said, would you like to be part of the Ugly Sister team?
Ah, right.
And they thought, yeah, we'll get dressed like them. You didn't have to do that, you just have to wear ugly shirts. All right, this is the quickest and fastest street car in the UK, 6:99. I can almost barely believe I'm saying that.
Building up the boost. Oh,
and rolls through
too
stage.
deep.
Well, the good thing is, this being what it is, you can actually back up and try again. Even though that car looks like a rusty old Chevy, it's a pure race car underneath it. That is the idea. You can even see the aerodynamics underneath it at the back as well. Second bite of the cherry for Andy Bond. This car will run over 200 miles. He's done it again, unfortunately. Well, third time and you're out, maybe. There's a very cross-looking lady standing at the window, Andy. Don't do that again.
One more chance. Start building the boost before we go into pre-stage.
There we go. So he's got to build the boost up. He's got a twin turbo big block in there. Around about 3,000 brake horsepower.
Oh,
no.
Just overpowered it.
Just brake traction slightly around about 60 foot. Not as quick as 60 either. 133.
That's how quick Ian fired the button then to get it to go.
So the out on bail little 100E. There's so many of those cars that are just too cool. Right, last couple of cars in the custom car invitational. And then we have Martin Hill with 5 horse number 2. Almost a nostalgia jet car. Solo run for the 100E. Not sure why actually. I'm not sure whether there's a leak or they need to clear something up. We'll soon find out. Ah, no, there is a leak down there.
$13.26 at 99 miles an hour through the stripe there. And watch the 100E class grow. There's so many.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
So many of them.
That's going to be another one that in a couple of years' time is just going to explode, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Okay, so the last pair of cars, 1 pickup. And then we got Gasser Circus qualifying session number 3.
Now this is on the verge of running into the 9s. The Chevy pickup. Don't know much about the power plant, unfortunately, but it's quick. It's seriously quick. $10.11. 132 at the stripe.
I think that's the very definition of a sleeper, that car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. So the Malibu will be the last car before, I think, our only actual physically thrust-powered vehicle of the weekend will be up next. $10.31 at $129. They look pretty happy with that. Okay, so 5 horse number 2. I'm not sure when 5 horse was actually running. Was it the 90s?
Well,
car?
Martin started the 5 horse. You could almost call it a franchise, but it's not. The 5 horse jet.
It's as good as
30 years ago, because obviously celebrating 30 years of jet car racing this year, and he was a bike racer before that.
Like you do.
So
well, he had jets before that too. He did have a rear-engine jet dragster way back when. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, because I normally am.
Yeah.
But he definitely, from a long while ago, used to have that. But you're right, obviously, you're right about the bikes, you're right about the 30-year thing and everything. The one vehicle that he does have with a jet in it that I've never seen run is...
It's the bike.
Obviously. Yeah, exactly. Why would you do that anyway?
Well, if he can come up to a meeting and run Easter, run 5 horse 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
Okay, with different drivers in some of the cars.
He drove 2 of them, though.
He drove, yeah, exactly.
And
He's maintaining 4 and driving 2 of them, and then, well, I take my hat off to the bloke. I really do.
Well, he's had a nice weekend off this weekend because he just got 5 horse 2 to look after. So, if you're here with us for the first time, or you're not first time for a long while, and you haven't seen the jet car, basically, yeah, this is an old, a decommissioned, if you like, fighter jet engine in a funny car body. Martin sits off to the side with the jet in the middle.
I've got to give a big round of applause to James Humphreys down there on the start line, looking very dapper today, mate. That is a proper vintage outfit, mate.
Do you know what?
Well
I used
done.
to call people that, and they used to think I was being rude. It's not rude. It's a nice thing to say.
Tell you what, James, you should wear that out to a night in Northampton, and I tell you what, you'd get respect, mate. You would get respect, I tell you.
Yeah,
you might get the pee taken out of you, but you would get respect.
He'd also get drinks over him and other stuff.
Yeah,
as well,
he would. Yeah.
I think.
But no, it's a properly smart dressed man.
If
today.
you could pull off a decent evening out in that outfit, you could do it in anything. So yeah. Then again, so could Ian Marshall. But what can you do? So underneath us, I presume, because we can't see, they have the starter attached to the front of the jet, which they will wind over. The fun thing to do here always is watch everybody on VIP. I'm sure there's people over there that have seen this before.
Yeah,
well,
thankfully all the kids have got ear protection on, so thank you very much indeed to the mums and dads for making sure that the youngsters' ears are covered. And of course, if it is your first time watching a jet car, yeah, these are pretty loud.
Yep.
So ear protection is advised.
When my daughter was 2, the only word she had afterwards was hot. I think was about it really, because it does get a bit warm up there. But yeah, anyway, everybody up in VIP, if you can hear me, well, yeah, this is like a normal quiet car. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's all good. You'll be
all
fine.
of Colin Miller's guests up there. How are we all doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Good. En masse this weekend. They're all from DPS Group and Purvis Plant. Who's from Purvis Plant Hire out of that lot? There we go. So all the rest of you are DPS, are
Kind
you?
of. You haven't decided yet.
Are you still going to be employed on Monday? Is that the question? Well, Colin sounds like Colin looks after his gang, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so,
just in all seriousness, watch out for little kids with this one. It does tend to make them jump a little bit. They do. I'm sure they'll like it, but it will make them jump a little bit. So make sure you got your ear defenders on, ladies and gentlemen, because you will need them. You're also going to get a little bit warm as well.
So Colin Miller's got his daughter, son-in-law and grandson there as well. So
excellent.
Excellent stuff there.
Just a quick question as well. Have you done this before? I think you have, haven't you? Yeah, okay. So don't forget, check out the balcony as well as Martin, obviously. It's always a giggle. Very, very well pointed out, sir. Ian Marshall's actually holding onto his skirt just in case he gets defrocked. The perils of wearing a skirt on the start line that we never knew.
Yeah, we're sniggering looking at people on VIP.
That's my fault, because I said make sure the kids are all right, and it was the adults that jumped. I'll do it in a minute. So, give Richie a wave. I think this car runs 6-second ECs, well over 200 miles an hour. Come on, give Richie a wave. Going to be sending Martin on his way. Martin clipped it before the 775 at 151. Yeah, Richie not too impressed with that. The show was still pretty good.
Well, it was violent enough to knock out the timing screen up here. Everybody else has still got there. Oh, in actual fact, it's knocked the plug out.
Oh, that'll be why. Well done, mate. So, right, everybody up on the balcony. We weren't kidding, were we? No. I think all the kids survived. I think the adults jumped more than the kids over there, to be honest with you. Good news is you'll all go home smelling a diesel. So, Gaster Circus qualifying session number 3, I think. Simon, welcome back. I see you've been furiously scribbling away.
Yeah, I feel like I just get a load of pit notes together, really.
Well, why not? Just wing it. We always do.
I know, you can wing it.
Though.
I need
it shows, though.
Yeah.
It does show.
You're used to it.
You're prepared and professional. That's the big difference. So, yeah.
So, yeah,
is this
first
the
round
last qualifying session, is it?
That's a good question. I would say they've got one more later, haven't they?
However, that is time dependent.
Okay.
For the simple reason, obviously, is that we are, I mean...
Yeah, there's a lot to get through.
Yeah, there's a lot to get in. We are a little bit behind schedule. So this will be qualifying session number 3. I mean, on a regular Dragstalgia weekend, or in years gone by, they only got 3 sessions anyway, I think, didn't they? We tried to add another one by making it, you know, the first one last night, but we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the day does.
And first up is Ray, who is surprised himself. He's stunning #1 qualifier at the moment after 2 sessions.
Someone with confidence in their own ability by being shocked that they're #1.
And he's up against Tim Hank Holmes. Sounds so good, that Polara.
It looks... I mean, like I said earlier, I can't imagine there are that many of those left on the planet.
No.
And we've got one of them here in the Gaster Circus running 10s.
That's been cut about and running 10s.
Fantastic, isn't it? So Ray Turner, yeah, #1. Looking, the numbers that you see on the board at the finish line, just to explain if you weren't here earlier, those are their predicted times. They're trying to run as close to those as possible. This is qualifying for eliminations in the Gaster Circus. Session number 3 on the weekend. First session yesterday evening. We've had, this is number 2 for today, obviously. .1066 for the Polara on a 1060 takes him up to #7. Breakout, only just though for Ray Turner.
Only just.
So how did everybody find the conditions earlier? Because everyone tended to go too quick, didn't they?
Yeah, except, I don't know whether you remember Katie's run.
Yeah.
She said she found the track really cold, and that's why she was all over the place.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Interesting, but maybe that's the skinniness of the pop.
Yeah, there was a big hole to fall into there. You salvaged it very well. No, Ray Irish and nervous Nick. Breakout. And Nick stays #9.
Nice run from Nick as well.
Do you know what? In all the years I've been watching him run, I don't know what his second name is.
Nick Barnett. Who?
Nick Brooks Langham.
Nick Brooks, yeah. Yeah. Did you know that he's building a new car?
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, because he dented that one.
Another Dorset.
Another Dorset?
Yeah.
Like that one isn't good enough.
As is Sean.
Yes,
Sean's
I heard.
building a Dorset, but that's going to be mad.
Well, I know
already the fastest qualifier so far, quickest and fastest.
#5 at the moment, Graham Barton. With the Devon is #3.
Graham's absolutely loving it in this new class, obviously fresh into drag racing. Ooh, nice one from Sean.
Sean. Moves up to #3 with a 10.07 on a 10.04. Graham Barton gets bumped back 1 spot by Shorty, going up to number 3, sorry.
Tony ran his first 10 last qualifying session.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, he broke out by like 3.5 tenths, didn't he?
He's not sad.
I'm sure.
He's a very happy boy.
Taking on Katie. Katie dials a 10.7. I think that car runs quicker than that without the gaps on it normally, doesn't it? But obviously they know their car. They know what they're doing.
just do a much straighter run.
Well, they're both very even all the way up, and they dialed the same number almost. And run the same number almost, actually, yeah. Katie moves up to number 10 with a 10.85. It's always funny when that happens. Tony runs the number that dials the number he ran in the round before, then slows up. It just seems to work like that sometimes, doesn't it, I guess.
I don't know whether you know anything about Mick's Corvette, but he apparently it was involved from Long Island.
Right.
Bought it off Craigslist, and was a little story behind it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
People buy cars door slammers off of Craigslist?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Sight unseen.
Interestingly, Mitch, will look at there. Nick Williams down on the start line. That was Nick's car.
It was.
Yeah. Nick's
Oh! 11.0.
Huge breakout for Mick Allen. 11s. He's nearly in the 10s.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. 110 miles an hour. Well, will we have a 10-second dial-in shortly then? Looks like it.
And I was talking to Nick earlier, Nick Barnett here in the Futura, and he said the only thing he did, he lifted the bonnet, saw the engine was there, so he was happy. That was it.
And bought it. Was that it?
But he's saying his reaction times have improved since he's got married.
I'm not going to ask why. Look at that for Steve Matthews. He gets spun back to one spot because Nick Barnett is #1 qualifier. 11.55 on a 54. Good job you got the engine with the car. That was a hell of a race, actually, based on their times. They're only a couple of hundredths off each other based on their dial-ins at the finish line. So you got in trouble earlier, didn't you, with Brian?
Yeah.
You were just saying.
With John even.
John, sorry, beg your pardon. John Gibson.
Yeah, just about the fact that did he do the wheelie because he'd lost some weight. Well, he has lost some weight, but that wasn't the reason. But he did do a little bit of damage, but it's great to see him back. Only he just put a little dent in the sump. Oh.
That was a bit more like it.
Bit more like it.
Up against Merv with the Dorset.
With the Dorset that was a Devon.
How did it move counties? How does that work? so I'm not being...
Well, you remove a door to start with. Yeah, you remove a door, chop the roof.
And that's it.
And you know I said that he drives it here and back, Julian.
The candy twist, yeah.
Yeah, drove it into the centre of London a couple of weeks ago as well. Caused a bit of a stir.
Yeah, Mum, why is the house moving?
But the thing about Julian is he has got to qualify. He's got to run faster than 13.5. At the moment, I think he's 13.8, 13.9.
So is that the minimum for the class?
Yeah.
13.5, yeah, okay. Up against Brian Gibson with the identity crisis. Very nice line for Brian.
Oh, it's close.
Just needs to shave that a little bit more off now.
Yeah.
We did mention you've got one more session scheduled, but it depends how the schedule goes. You've had 3 qualifying runs already.
Okay.
Fingers crossed we get the last one in.
Fingers crossed.
Martin Hallam, Ken Brooks.
So as it stands, Steve Matthews is on top, and he's on top of the leaderboard anyway at the moment after 2.
Nick Barnett.
Oh, Nick Barnett now.
Yeah. No. Nick they ran side by side.
Yeah.
And Nick Barnett nicked it just at the finish line. So Ken Brooks and Martin Hallam, 10.66 and 10.50 is what we're looking for this time. Too quick and too slow, I hate to say. So Merv finishes the session at #1. Good job it has an engine in it then, wasn't it? Yeah. Simon, thanks ever so much,
Excellent.
mate. I hope you got to use all your notes. If you didn't,
Oh,
save them for
no.
later.
Doesn't matter.
You know it works by now. You never get to say everything you need to, do you? So anyway, Nostalgia Superstock Q3.
Yeah.
Colin and
Don Scott joins us again. Right, so the helmet of truth goes on to Don Scott. How are you doing, buddy? All okay?
I'm very well, Colin. Thank you very much. Looking for another session Q3 here.
First up, Pink Christmas, Adrian Portelli. Pete's currently Q26, Adrian number 19. Darlins then, 11.80.
Oh, what a red from Adrian.
Thank goodness it doesn't count in qualifying.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Let the burnouts go. Adrian breaks out by less than 100th, goes 11.02 on 11.03.
Yeah, well, what about that?
All right, Vic Parsons and Kev Strevitt.
Actually, that's Ty Strevitt. Kev is the dad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's how the tickets were bought, apparently. So the driver, sorry, Colin, so the driver is actually Ty Strevitt.
Never apologise if you're correcting me, mate. Don't worry about that. Right, Vic then, the 110. Oh, he's going to want to curse that timing slip. He dialed in 10.20, he went 10.1999. That was 1/10,000th
of a second.
Perfect. Oh.
How about that then?
Right. Nick Williams dialing in 9.78. And Mojo, where is he? There he is,
there
with
he
the
is.
satellite. 11.02.
Nick always seems to dial a 978 from my memory. I think that's his
well, he went
favourite
980
number.
in Q1. Yeah, let's see what he's got for us then.
That's right.
Don't forget, Nick won the door slammers.
Yes, he did
Won
indeed.
the main event in Pro ET.
Yeah.
Oh, Vic Parsons, if the track was quarter of an inch longer, that would have been perfect. Lovely wheels up launch there for Nick. Customary Williams Brothers Racing launch. He's going to get to the stripe first. How well has he judged it? Oh, he breaks out, 9.76.
Oh, 200.
Mojo goes 11.23. You'd have thought the conditions would have been not so good as they were this morning, but Nick's gone quicker. Right, let's see what Dan's got for us with that beautiful Impala.
Beautiful
the right
Impala.
words out.
Yeah.
And just as stunning to look at, that 63 dart of Jake Hawthorne, that is so period correct. In fact, they both are. You can't beat hand-painted
No, that's correct, period. That's proper period.
So it's going to be Jake to the stripe first. He wants 12.10. He gets 12.14. That'll do.
Oh, what a
nicely.
pair.
Oh, Dan Williams up to number 5.
Oh, we'll be pleased with that.
14.59 on a 58.
Oh, we'll be pleased with that. Billy Mills and Jack Bishop. Jack Bishop in the Alter Glen Lane. Billy Mills on the left lane. Can't remember what it's called.
Right, Pinky Barracuda. Or is it the red car and the blue car having a race? Whichever you prefer. This is qualifying session number 3. Young Jack. This is where he pulls a 968 out of the bag, isn't it? The car is going so well at the moment.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't break out again.
No. Out to 77.
Oh.
Billy Mills goes 11.25. Well, Jack gets in the show. He moves up from 37 to 26. That was more important.
Yeah, that's correct. He was a bit worried about tomorrow. Jim Smith in the left lane. Rooks Hill in the right lane.
So Rob just in the number 2 spot at the moment.
Yes,
well, he
indeed.
well and truly safely qualified. He's definitely in the show tomorrow.
Yep.
But how close can he get to that 10.49? He had a 10.49 with a 3 earlier. breakout this time round.
That won't hurt him too much.
Jim, not in the show at the moment, though.
No.
Goes 11.97.
Ash Rawson in the Alter Glimlane against Mike Lacey. Mr. Grumpy, our very own Mr. Grumpy in the left lane. You know he's stuck with that name, Colin, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change of outfits for Karen once again.
Yeah. Well, she didn't want to look like Ian. There was competition going on there. I think Ian upstaged her. Oh. 0.9 from Mike Lacey.
8.98, just 200th breakout.
Yeah.
And a lot more than 200s, nearly 0.35 of a breakout there for Ash. That car's flying.
Yeah. Lee Charles in the right lane against Chris Latham in the left.
He's got form at this event, hasn't he?
He has, indeed.
He's won it before.
He has. He's good. Seasoned racer at York.
He's the sort of guy that if you picked him out of a lucky dip to win the event, he goes, oh yeah, I'm happy with that one.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah.
So he does 11.05, 12.90 for Chris Latham. Now, if that's a race, you'd be throwing away your lucky dip ticket, but cherry on the tree, doesn't matter in qualifying, goes 11.09 and a 12.93. Lee moves up to 16, Chris stays 11. Don, you've got to be delighted with near on 40 entries in.
Yes, I'm absolutely so chuffed. I'm pretty much taking on a new racing member per week.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 weekends on running, I've taken on racing members. First one will be racing next week, 3 weeks' time at the Mobile Nationals. And we got our latest member racing with us this weekend, Lola Cavey. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty happy, isn't she?
She is, yeah, she's doing all right. She's good.
Right, we'll stand Q2 for Dave Bilodeau earlier. Let's see what he's got for us this time. Is the front going to come up? I reckon so.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely to see that big wagon like that lifting the front wheels. I mean, shouldn't happen, but it does.
Oh, hello to your number one qualifier. And it's perfect.
Yeah, that'll do.
7.5 with a 0, and that earns him the money from Euro Dragster and
oh, really?
Team Twister. Andy Hadfield. The money's gone to Dave Bilodeau.
Fantastic. Well done, Dave. It's a Kiwi in the right lane, and Boz, as we know him, in the left lane, Andrew Bosenworth. That lovely Spirit of 66.
And a 11.08, 11.09, sorry, on a 10. Oh, Andrew breaks out.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's number 37. Feeder just backed off a little bit of the stripe, even well and truly in the show. Actually, I just remembered, Dave Bilodeau could be on for another 50 quid if he stays number one qualifier as well, isn't he?
Oh, he's number one now, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's knocked Amy Watkins off the perch then, hasn't he? Yeah.
Well, with the perfect run,
you're
going to take number one.
Yeah, well, you're going to do that.
John Davidson with the Roadrunner. He's in the uncomfortable position of 32 at the moment.
Yes, he's hanging in there just.
Alan Medley, well and truly in the show, dialing in 10.69. John Davidson, 12.58. Oh, and John breaks out by less than 200.
Oh, he won't be happy with that.
Got to say, massive thanks to Kath and Tig last night. I was a bit short on food, mainly because I didn't have a caravan anymore.
Oh yeah, you sold that, I believe. Yes, I understand.
So I was homeless, but also cooking facilities-less as well. But
right.
Kath and Tig phoned me last night.
Where did you stay? Anywhere nice? Any salubrious?
Yeah, in the back of my van.
Oh, well, there you go.
Tog, always a font of all knowledge. Dave Bilodeau won the very first ever perfect run money from Eurodrag.
Did he?
Very first one ever.
Well done to Dave there. Plenty of experience, that boy.
Oh yeah.
Mostly at York, but plenty of runs down here.
Right, Tig and Shelby. Dial in then, Tig 9:58, Shelby 11:32. 200 breakout and to the wrong side. Actually for Shelby, so no improvements for either. Tig actually is in the number 38 spot. He's not in the show yet.
Yeah.
Right, the former #1 qualifier. Oh
Yes.
no, former #2 dropped to number 8 now.
Number 8 now,
Wow.
young Claire. Yeah, she won't be happy with that. But let's see what she can do here.
Yeah, but the happiest camper always on site is Claire's dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
but then he's always happy though, isn't he?
He's done a lot of upgrades on the car,
Yeah.
and he's frustrated that they're not working. They are working.
They
It's
are
just
working.
the conditions
Yeah,
weren't as
have
good.
changed this morning.
Up against Chris Goodale with the Camaro. He's looking for 11:35. I don't be surprised if Claire breaks out. Oh, up to number 6 there.
Yeah.
That'll do. That'll do.
Yeah.
Always one to watch is Claire. Right, the Nimitz.
The Nimitz in the right lane, the aircraft carrier. Lovely guy, Jerry.
I love the way he's called it big time.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so fitting, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it's Guy King.
Guy King with his new Chevelle.
Guy the Collector King.
Yeah.
Unbelievably, this is a temporary car for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
But there we go. Love that car.
Yeah. Stunning.
Rolled the beams a little bit, so that could drop off to a 10:35, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe in a bit less. Oh, 10:39.
Yeah, you were close.
And the front Jerry Raven. Mark, Jerry. Jerry gets in the show, bumps out John Davison.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, Jim Chandler, Duncan Watts. What was it? You've got to be a surname beginning with W for this class. You've got the Williamses, you've got the Watkins,
Oh,
the
right.
Watts family. That accounts for a third of them now.
It does indeed, yeah. My middle name begins with a W, does that help? No.
I'm not going to ask what it is.
Well, I'm not going to tell you anyway.
Right, Jim Chandler looking for the 9s, and Duncan Watts, he's at 10:45. 9.99 for Jim Chandler. Duncan Watts moves up as well. Jim up to 7.
Yeah, that would please him.
Duncan number 8.
So our newest member, Lola, in the left lane. And she's dialed, I believe, around about a 12.7, she was telling me, is that right?
That's correct,
Yeah.
12.74. 10.30 for Dave Simcock. Trouble is, Lola has got nitrous, but not allowed to use it, obviously.
No, she's given her word. In fact, I think they've taken the bottle out, so that's conforms.
And you can see it's a quick rate launch as well. Nice one there for Dave, 32. Just a little bit off pace there for Lola, but Dave moves up to number 11. Right, former #1 qualifier Amy Watkins dropped to number 2. Going alongside Ozzie Brown with the Camaro.
Ladies race, this one.
Ian Brown just bringing Ozzie to the line. I don't know where they've got the dial-in things, but that'll do racing on the rear spoiler. Oh, a little bit of a hop and skip up there for Amy. Goes 65, I thought she might lose a 10. Oh, breakout there for Ozzie. 13.93 on a 98.
So where does that put Amy to now?
She stays 2.
Right, okay.
Well, if you've got one that'll do Camaro, it's only right that the other one follows.
Yep.
alongside Simon Rickwood with the Bossa Nova. Dials 982. Stout number.
He's getting quicker and quicker.
Well, he's also honking the front wheels up fairly high these
Yes,
days.
he is,
Last
yeah.
run wasn't too bad, but the one before that, it was doing a Buzz Lightyear reach for the sky. There he goes again.
Yeah.
Making full use of the wheelie bar.
Yeah.
$9.74 for Simon Rickwood.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He'll be pleased with the PB, I guess.
I think he'll be shocked by that one.
Yeah.
10.75 for Harrison on an 84. That was a breakout as well.
Neil Watkins in the right lane.
Simon's car's never been that quick before.
No,
That's a
no.
breakout.
Getting better and better. So Neil Watkins in the truck, and son Tom Watkins in the left lane in the Charger.
I'm loving Sammy's dress.
Yes, isn't she pretty? She wasn't pleased with me earlier. I told her she looked like a dustbin.
You can't say somebody's dressed up as a Santa Pod waste bin. You
Yeah,
can't
but I'll get
say
away
that.
with it.
It's a
I'll get
checkered flag look.
Colin, you know I can get away with it.
Yeah, but that family's a bit bigger than you. Right?
Yeah, I know. But I can run faster.
Right, 9.41 dial in for Tom. Neil, 11.30. I tell you what, Neil, going to be one to watch this weekend.
Yeah.
And a 34. See, I was even preempting the 30 then. It was the 4 instead of the
Yeah, so you
the
were far
required
off,
8.
Colin. Fantastic.
Well, sometimes you get to know the cars really, really well and you know what they can run.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Don,
right.
well done, mate. What have you got next for you? We've got one more qualifying session later on. Well done, mate. Thank you, Brett. So well done to Don Scott. He'll be up for the final session a little bit later on. Meanwhile, it's back to the Wild Bunch. We like the Wild Bunch. We like all the classes actually, but it's such a weird mix of altereds, slingshots, dragsters, you name it, everything in the Wild Bunch.
And an altered.
And that's you could always rely on the Wild Bunch for crazy names like sort of Happy Days and Ellie's in Trouble, but the altered, I think, is an absolute winner.
That's not bad, is it? That's Bob Wright down there in a 23T Ford in the energy check lane.
Room for growth for the driver.
By about 2 foot, by the look of it. Russ Haven with the tight fit. Not sure what Russ ran earlier today. I was going to say we haven't got the ETs up from earlier on.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was. I think it was 10 actually.
Yeah, he was on and off the throttle a bit, wasn't he? Bit slowish off the start line, but when he got going, it was all good. Best down in the 8. I think it was 870 is his personal best. As we, Claire, you're wonderful. We know that anyway, but now we can just look down the list and find everyone's personal best, what the car is, and all the rest of it. So. Yeah, Russ Haven's quickest run is an 870, 155. That looks like a good one. A little bit of a wobble at the top end, but he's still going for it. 913, 152. Not bad at all. 1174 for Bob Wright. About half a second off of his best ever ET. Mick Leto. Here's a tenuous link. What have me and Bob Gledo got in common? We have something in common, definitely.
Well, the Gledos were with you when you ran, no?
You're on the right track.
Started at the same meeting? History?
Me and Mick drove the same car.
Oh, right.
The same dragster.
Yeah.
The blown Alki car. It was driven by numerous people. Originally, it was Jim Reed's Lepatron.
Really? I
yeah,
didn't know
that was that car. It was the Lepatron car, then driven by Steve Reed. Then I believe it was sold to the Cross Brothers. Then it was the Gledos. Then it was when Mick drove it. Then Faye Fisher drove it. Then Martin Canto owned it. Andy Frost drove it. Then I drove it too. So
I
yeah,
never knew that was the Le Patron car.
It is, yeah.
Wow. Interestingly, Matt Fuller with Oblivion, he had the car up for sale last year, then decided not to sell it. We think, thank goodness for that. Now he's got a for sale notice on the back of the car again.
Yeah, how about an Avenger Nitro funny car, anyone? Like it used to be. Yeah, that was what that car was, and quite proud actually. I ran the quickest run ever in that. That was my one
Claim
thing
to
I got
fame,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not. Well, kind of, yeah. But there we go. What was really nice was Tim Reed was on.
Was that you saying that's your audition for the Hall of Fame, is it?
Well, it was obviously with more modern stuff and everything in it, but it was what was nice moment after that actually was when I think it was Tim Reed, who was part of the scrutineering crew at the top end at the time. He came over and shook my hand and he said, I never thought I'd see that car run that quick, which was nice. So Bob Morgan with the bee sting, Craig Larman with the ferret. I think Bob went 10-2 earlier on today. 10-15 this time, pick it up a bit, 131, 10-76. For Craig. You'd almost think I was part of the team, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah. You could go down the start line, yeah.
I've just been up in the pits as well. And what's amazing is, like, all the Willis Wars cars are queued up, ready to come down. Just like one massive car show. It's fabulous.
Well, this is. Well, I'm not saying it has become. It is the must-attend event of the year now. This one.
You bet. Ryan Watson with the interest-free slingshot, energy check lane. Looks kind of odd with his head sitting in the middle of it, doesn't it, you know? Andy Jackson goes 11.28, 122.
So Mick Hillier with the Texas Ranger and Darryl Howells with Chemical Reaction. The altered. Topolino body.
Sorry, Adam, I do apologise. I forgot it was Doug Bonds before you had it. Well done, mate. Thank you very much.
And he's making his way up here at last. At last. Here he comes. Oi. Oh,
Hello, mates. Have some of them.
There is no... Right, now we can hear. There is no way he's coming up here and he's not putting a set of cans
I
on.
thought I was only here for social. Come and shoot
What,
I thought there might have
not,
been a biscuit, if nothing
Are you
else.
not being sociable then? Okay, all right. Go on then.
Oh, Darryl Howells
dear.
just leaves the line and that's it.
Looks like he had a problem on the burnout actually that time. Mick Hillier goes 9.50, 139, another pretty good 9-second run.
So, joined in the tower by Barry Bohannon.
I
Barry,
know.
how are you doing, mate?
How long's it been? How
It's
long's
been
it
too
been?
long.
Do you
How
know
long's
something
it
dawned-
been? Never long enough, mate. Is the
Something
answer to
dawned
that
on
always.
us just today, and this year, 2019, is the 20th year of Beasting. We debuted it in 1999 at the season opener at Shaky, and it
Yeah.
only dawned on us this morning.
Sometimes the days don't dawn for you at all, Barry,
Hey,
do they?
yeah, where did that go? I'd like to say I had hair back then, but I'll be lying.
Well, it's good to know you're all daft enough to still do it, mate. Anyway, most importantly.
That's
did you
the
have,
sobering thought.
It is. Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It is a good thing.
It's fancy dress.
No, it's good. It's it probably attracts the small flying things, doesn't it, as well? It's
Not
just
as
yellow
much
colour.
as the old one used to do, because we used to have a yellow shirt, and that was just horrendous.
Do you know, so I remember years and years and years ago, Tony Rose over at Shakespeare County Raceway when it was open park, very kindly gave me a yellow shirt to wear on one of the hottest days of the year.
Error.
It wasn't yellow for long.
No.
It was mostly black. Got absolutely pelted with the things. Anyway, Andy Stone, Steve Field. Steve Field with the... There are so many period correct cars in this class, but that is a beauty.
Last I heard, Andy Stones was having clutch dramas.
Well, he was running the nitrous on it. Obviously trying to do well, but still is by the look of it. Steve Field taking the long way around. 893 though, 155. Andy Stone's nowhere near what that car can run.
There are some Steve Fields cars on the property this weekend, aren't there?
There are indeed. And good looking ones too.
Speaking of which...
Exactly. Very nice looking machine.
Right, the Snake Eyes Slingshot into the Auto Glim lane.
That is a beautiful piece of kit.
It is lovely,
isn't it? Gorgeous. Absolutely brand spanking new out the box. Isn't X'd previously anyone. It's brand new.
So Andy Clifford having a memorable debut. The biggest meeting of the year, fair to say, for the Wild Bunch. And Luca Giovoni with the Earthquake Slingshot. They're bringing the car over from Ireland.
So good to see he made it after all the dramas with the tow truck. Last I heard, he was stranded in Cambridge with a tow truck busted. So,
who, Luca?
Yeah.
That's an unusual route, Ireland to Cambridge to here. But there we go.
Andy's running some heavy methanol loads in that car because he's pitted right next to us and he fills our van with it.
It's going to be Luke to the stripe first. Goes 1040 and... Right, James Auld with the Little Faust Dragster. I remember when he was running like sort of 12.6s and all of a sudden a 12.5 popped out and it, oh my goodness me, he's great, he's great, he's great.
He just
His
keeps
PB's
chipping
now
away, doesn't he?
12.2.
He just keeps chipping and chipping and chipping away.
Now,
of course, he does this job. He does this job away from the drag strips. He's actually a commentator for karting.
That's right. I used to commentate on the British Rental Karting Championship.
Did you?
Yeah, and I got to know James through that. And then when I didn't do that anymore, James took over, and he's been running ever since. And the BRKC has really, really climbed. And James does a fantastic job of that.
Know nothing about the V12 in the left lane.
Well, we're assuming it's a Jag V12, but that's about it. But it's a cracking combination for Tim Roy. 12.42 James, one of the quicker runs, and 14.59 at 81 there for Tim.
But the beauty of Wild Bunch is you don't have to make the world go backwards. It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
You can run as close to that number over and over and over again. When you punch the numbers on Sunday and decide who gets the points.
So Darryl Howell's going back to the pit. Hopefully nothing too much to worry about. Rob and Pete Brown with the Rebel. Haley just running after the car.
Drivers do that as a sport. That's the only reason why they do that, to make the other guys run.
Yeah, you see Rob and Pete alternating between the car. It's Pete driving this time round. Way to tell, Pete has the blue crash helmet, Rob has the red one.
They'll change just to Foxy, you know. They're like that, those two.
Well, it could be a mid-8, could be something better there. 8:57, nicely done there, and 9:47 for Phil.
Phil James must have been changing the station on the radio there. I've never seen him so late. Not that it matters.
So Slingshot and altered. Got Wayne Collins down there with the Misfit machine, and Paul Tarry with Triggers Broom. Wayne had the joy of having a real long chat with the American Speedfest a few weeks back. We were on display side to side.
He does RC, doesn't he? So you're in the RC game.
Yeah.
And he does that with the Dragsters.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I love the colour of that car. I think it's really period correct. And the gold lettering set it off really nicely too.
Well, no awards for reaction times on this one, but it's all about the ETs. Across the line pretty much together. 11:69 and 12:96. I just spotted Mr. Blackett down on the start line, actually. Blackett photography, catch every single car and bike. It goes up the quarter mile here at Santa Pod there. In studio, just round the corner next to the pairing lanes, actually. So if you want to get a photograph of your car, and I tell you what, they're normally pretty good shots as well. And bearing in mind that a lot of these cars only appear at Dragstalgia, not many other meetings at all, Ian will have caught that photograph, get round to the studios and check them out. Normally have a pretty decent package of photographs available down there.
They have moved for this weekend. They're on the opposite side of the zebra crossing on the trader side, just for this event. I don't know why. The lady told us when she was snapping away earlier on in the pairing lanes.
Right, so there we go. Useful advice from Barry. Don't go to the normal place, go to the mobile one.
They're closed.
Just a little bit of a...
deafening silence out there, Colin.
Yeah, look at the top end. There's some people milling around in the auto-glim lane, so maybe Triggers Broom is required to actually sweep up there. So these two just been pushed back at the moment. But still plenty of Wild Bunch cars to still come round the corner. You can see Mark Corsell with a ball breaker. You can see
38 of us this weekend.
Yeah, Dan Boone's round there. Saltown Shaker is there. Philippa Turton's there, and of course Gonzo the Great. And boy, oh boy, was that going quick earlier on. Back into the sevens again.
We did a car show with Alan and Ian last year. It's an indoor one at Event City in Manchester, near the Trafford Centre. Huge, massive, great big venue. And it was predominantly a tuning show. You know, all the Slam guys were there, and the jaunty ankles suspension boys, and there was about half a dozen drag racers. The Maras were there, Mark Corsell were there, we were there, Alan, and they were just thronging. They had some fabulous cars all over the place, and they all made a beeline.
What they normally see.
Well, yeah, it was like, and one of these guys said, you know what it is? We don't get you guys, I don't think you get us either, but it sort of fits. Yeah. But Alan, when we were coming out, he fired the car up indoors and drove it out into the park. That got everyone's attention, and the swell was unbelievable. Nowhere for it to go.
I tell you what, Event City in Manchester has got to be the ideal location to put on an exhibition.
It is. It's
because
a fantastic
if you want to
place.
go, and you're supposed to have a weekend with a good lady wife, and you say, well, what am I going to do? She says, don't worry, you can walk to the Trafford Centre and spend your whole day shopping. It's just over there.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah,
because they have a big caravan thing there. It's probably as big as the NEC one. It's getting to be that way.
It's a massive venue.
And it's one of those places that opens up. You can have it either this big, or we can open that one and that one and that one.
No, I've been to a few events up there over the years, and yeah, good place. Anyway, let's have a look. Callum Swinchad with the little Prism Paintworks altered, and it's Johan.
Callum's getting crazy.
Sweden with the Slingshot. Well, this time it's the Dragster having a little weave. Callum is straight and true. 891 for Callum, back to where he should be. 859 for Johan. Yeah, Callum's dad's going, that's better. Lots of worrying this time.
Massive tip of the hat to the start line boys, Ian and Dave, this afternoon, this weekend. What was it this time last year? Was it the Peaky Blinders look on the Saturday at Dragstalgia for Dave and Ian?
Yeah.
And this year it's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Certainly making life interesting out there. So let's see what Alan Lloyd has got for us this time round. Absolutely flew earlier on to a 785 at 166 PBs on both speed and ET. And Philippa Turton's got a perfect view of watching Alan disappear into the distance.
Getting some air under the front tyres at the hit, Colin.
It's another 7, but what flavour? 778. 106.68. Oh, he's 100th down on MPH, but it doesn't matter. 778 on the ET.
That's what having a British drag
racing. Incredible gains from Gonzo this weekend.
I remember when Ian first debuted that car and he had the centre spread in Custom Car magazine.
I remember that.
It was built in Bolton, not far away from, well, in my old hometown. Fred Whittle built it, or the motor. And they had that blonde lady in the centre spread. I can't remember her name, the model that used to do all the centre spreads in Custom Car magazine.
Those are the days when I was just starting to get into this sport. And, you know,
It's some great indoor shows at Bellevue.
I used to. I was a paper boy in the village that I lived in, and luckily somebody subscribed to Custom Car magazine. And before I went and did the paper round, I used to sit down and read Custom Car before the person got it delivered.
One year at Bellevue, they had the big car show there, and John Price, Radio 1 were there, and John Price was working with Radio 1. And they used to have the DJ booth or the mirror behind it, so you could actually see what he's doing, queuing all the records up, loading all the jingles and everything. And he had a T-shirt on that said, "I'm not famous." And if John's listening, he'd probably say, he got his hands and face smacked from the bosses at Radio 1 for that.
All right, Mark Corsell and Dan Boone, a pair of 8-second slingshots coming at you.
I believe at some stage Dan's going to be dipping some of the noisy, expensive stuff in that car.
Really? Yeah. 8.33 for Mark, not bad at all. Dan just dropping off a little bit to a 9.05.
If that's not a contender for best appearing team right there, I don't know what is.
It is a contender. I'm just loving the actions as well. Using the stick to full effect. Alongside James Tanner, the shin digger.
Who knew that Hugh Jackman could sing, dance and do that? This is the greatest show. Cue for song.
The thing is though, it was Thomas's school prom last night, and that's what he wore to it.
Top man.
Top man, absolutely top.
And he walked it. That in itself is worth a, isn't it? Never mind the limo, I'll walk with me stick. Good boy.
That's perfect, isn't it? Love it.
Jim's having a good look at the centre line there.
He's taking the very long way round. Still got a bit of wheel wobble in the shutdown area, but he's okay now. But that was a bit leery.
He enjoys driving that car so much he wants it to last as long as possible. That's probably what that's all about.
Trying to get half a mile out of a quarter mile pass.
Pretty much, yeah. I thought that was Alters that was supposed to do that.
Keith Carrington goes through with 11.98 at 107, and that was a 9.57 130 there for Jim. Well, I think this is the last one to run, actually, as we get ready for Slingshot Showdown. Oh, and Happy Days turning into sad days at the moment. It sort of stopped instantly.
Good play on words though, the name of the car and the smiley face front wheels. Happy Days, D-A-Z-E.
Not sounding like it's firing on all eight. Let's see if it clears its throat when it goes to the run, but Rob White with Happy Days. Did actually cough and splutter on his previous run, to be fair. Oh, and there it goes. Little carb fire. That's all it needed, just a little puff to clear it out.
And let him refire back up and start again.
Trying to. It's going to be a pushback, I think.
Oh.
Possibly a little bit of over-fueling there.
Some fueling issues there,
yeah,
so at least I'm sure they'll get after that when they get back to the pit. All the folks watching Wild Bunch out here, it's not the most expensive class in British drag racing. You can get involved with these people for not a lot of money at all. We've had 2 litre Pintos winning the whole championship.
Well, Barry, fantastic to have you up here, mate.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thank you so much indeed.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it, Darryl? You never think.
I wouldn't know, I can't ride a bike.
Right, okay, so Barry, he's got back to work with the Beasting team. We wanted to get him up here and get some colour commentary with him, so thanks ever so much indeed to Barry. Right, as we get ready for the Slingshot Showdown, it is time to get the thrill ride back out, the 2-seater Dragster, Paul Brown and Passenger. As we say, around about 780 at 171 miles an hour, and 781 at 172. Good arrow straight run there once again for Paul Brown. Right, we look round the corner to see what's coming up next. The Bluebird just going out to do a little bit of track preparation. I can see Slingshot Showdown around there. I can also see the bikes are back down there as well. Also, just whilst the Bluebird is out, they've had a message from Mark Bishop And just a quick brief update on the Grey Vegas Slingshot. After getting back to the pits and discovering a small leak at the rear of the manifold, we set to rectify it. But unfortunately, when we took the manifold off, we found more metal in the valley than we were willing to run with, especially with a brand new engine. So that's us done for the weekend. So unfortunately, we're not going to see the Grey Vegas Slingshot.
We'll see the
So
Willis.
hopefully we'll get to see the Grey Vegas Willis instead.
Well, that's
so,
what I was just checking out. I just had a wander around there to see how many cars were down for Q2 in the Slingshot shootout. We've got 6. We're missing Dave Nelson. Obviously, we are missing Mark, as you just mentioned, and we're missing, unfortunately, as well, Bob Hawkins after all the work. Yeah, only. I mean, I don't know whether it's a problem that meant that he couldn't make this session. I hope that's it. Same for Dave Nelson as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do hope that they can make it round for the last qualifying session, and obviously for round 1 tomorrow. Got the NSA bikes, National Sprint Association. You can see the Hobbit being brought round again once more. Is it the shootout next, or is it the bikes?
It's shootout next.
It is the shootout next, okay.
Unless it suddenly changes on the
Yeah, it may
on the
do.
run order, but if the Bluebird's going out, it will definitely be the Slingshot.
It'll be the Slingshots, yeah, and then after that, well, we're due the Willis Wars after that. However, it might not quite work like that. I'm sure they're in the lanes anyway. We are running slightly behind, but don't worry, you've still got a packed day to look forward to.
Okay, so again in the Wild Bunch pits, and I'm with Rob and Peter of the Rebel team. First of all, they'd like to say there are T-shirts for sale. That's the most important thing I was told to say. Get your T-shirts here at Dragstalgia. Now, boys, Dragstalgia is all about nostalgia, which is the Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
First question, how long have you guys been coming here?
Oh, we were 6 years old when we first came.
So that can't have been that long.
Oh, you're sweet. We love you. No, 24 years.
Okay, 24 years. That's not bad. You've seen quite a lot over these years.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, what are you looking forward to most this weekend?
Fun. Just the fun. The Cackle Fest. Well, racing. That's why we come to Santa Pod. Racing. That is the fun. Beats work.
Yes. That is it. A bad day's racing is better than a good day's work.
They are the best words in the world.
100%. And then number 3 is of our main 3 questions is, can you tell our viewers exactly why they should be here tomorrow?
Cackle Fest.
So
the racing.
Explain to the guys Cackle Fest.
Right, Cackle Fest is, well, Crackle Fest. It's all the cars that want to do it line up and we just rev the engines and just celebrate noise, drag racing, and nostalgia. If I can say it right. So yeah, it's just a celebration of drag racing. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay, so like I said, it's going to be everyone on the start line. Everyone's going to fire up the engines. Colin's going to walk around, and there's going to be a heck of a lot of noise.
Yes.
It's a brilliant thing to see. And yourself, anything else?
Dragstalgia beats the tennis.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
It beats anything.
It does.
More importantly, it beats Formula 1.
Oh, yes, we'll say that.
100%.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh. No one cares.
I don't.
That's the thing. That's it, right? That's
If I wanted 1.2 litre, I'd buy a bottle of Coke.
That's brilliant. Now, obviously, the Rebel that you're racing, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's a slingshot, so the engine's in front of the driver, the axle is by the nether regions, and, well, slingshot, wide front axle, narrow back axle. How long is it again, Pete?
138 inches.
138 inches. It's a 420 small block Chevrolet with mechanical fuel injection. And yeah, it costs a lot of money, but it's a lot of fun.
What else are you going to spend the money on?
Yeah,
We've got the other one at home, so...
That's brilliant. Okay, then, lads, we'll have a cracking weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Don't forget, make sure you pop by the Rebel Team bits and get yourself a T-shirt.
Yeah, thank you. Beats the tennis.
Can't
I was putting elapsed times in Q1.
Oh, there's bits just
that is something went pop in a big way when Joe went to step on it. Whatever Ian Marshall's grabbing hold of, you can see bits and pieces. Ah, oh, the pulley.
Yeah.
Sam Freeman with a big old burnout in the long time dead. Slingshot. Well, thank God that was the pulley, because when bits go flying, yeah, fair enough, it's just the bolts on the pulley. That's why the car stopped almost instantly. You tend to worry when things like that happen, don't you? Because there's normally follows puddles of oil and all sorts of nasty stuff. But anyway, Sam Freeman with an injector. Attached to it is a small slingshot. Well, it looks like it from here, doesn't it?
And as you correctly pointed out earlier on, the backup is done with the
with offset.
Off-centre.
Yes, exactly. An offset backup, I think is what it's called. He's currently number 6 when ran an 11-second pass. However, that car has a lot more intent, potential and everything else as well to it. Should be good for definitely 7s, maybe even 6s. Yeah, his hands device wasn't clipped on by the look of it. Well spotted, that Marshall. By the looks of it, could keep the engine running either. So, yeah, going to push him back. Maybe he'll get another bite at it. You don't know. Up next, by the looks of it, we got side by side. We got our Swiss pair. This was one car we didn't see earlier. It's the Silver Blitz car, which put in a test run yesterday, but didn't really go to plan. Another beautiful John Webster built car. So currently we're 0 for 2 with the slingshots. At least it looks like